the updates, what's going on. It's been a crazy couple weeks, y'all. I want to let y'all know that I have not stopped my fight. I did withdraw my case. It's for a reason, y'all. It's not because I'm stopping with it or not going to refile it or anything like that. It's just a lot going on behind closed doors.
In hip-hop, we've seen a lot of wild situations, but this one's been going on for over a decade. This situation involves Jay-Z, one of hip-hop's biggest moguls worth over $1 billion, and Rymir Satterthwaite, a 30-year-old from Philadelphia who's been claiming Jay as his father since 2015. Here's what actually went down. The courts just closed the book on this case in November 2025, but the way it ended caught everyone off guard. This goes way deeper than what you saw on social media. Let me break down everything that happened.
Got an update from a story from last week. Jay-Z's alleged 30-year-old son, Rymir Satterthwaite, is sharing new details about the affair his late mother, Wanda, allegedly had with the rapper back in 1992. In a signed 2015 affidavit, Wanda claims that she met Jay-Z, who at the time went by Rock, in Philadelphia through her friend. She alleges that she and Jay-Z had protected, but that the protection broke when she was just 16 and he was 22. She also described the two-bedroom apartment she claims Hove drove her to and the exact fit he wore.
To understand this, you gotta know how far back this goes. We're talking about claims from the early 1990s, allegedly, when Jay wasn't even Jay-Z yet. This was years before Reasonable Doubt, years before he became the mogul we know today. According to a notarized affidavit from 2015, Wanda Satterthwaite said she met a young rapper going by the name Rock back in 1992 in Philadelphia. She claimed she was 16 years old at the time and Jay was 22. According to her statement detailed in court documents, they allegedly spent time together in Brooklyn. She said she saw him one more time about 2 weeks later, and then never again until she saw him famous on TV years later. Fast forward to July 1993, and Rymir was born. Wanda's high school sweetheart, Robert Graves, was present at the birth and signed the birth certificate as the father. But as Rymir got older, Wanda started having doubts. When Rymir was 8 years old, his mother told him that Jay-Z was allegedly his biological father. That's a heavy thing to drop on a kid. Imagine being 8 years old, and your mom tells you one of the biggest names in hip-hop might be your dad. Later on, a paternity test proved Robert Graves had no biological connection to Rymir, so his name got removed from the birth certificate in 2011. The father line just stayed blank. No name, just empty space where a father's name should be. Now here's where it gets interesting. Wanda developed a serious heart condition and could no longer take care of Rymir. In 2011, she transferred custody to Lillie Coley, Rymir's godmother and a paralegal. Wanda kept fighting this battle until she died in 2019 from heart failure at 43 years old. Before she passed, she recorded a video in April 2016 supporting Rymir's case. That's her going on record, putting her name and face to these claims before she died. Jay-Z shares 3 kids with Beyonce, Blue Ivy, who's 13, and twins Rumi and Sir, who are 8. The rapper has consistently denied through his legal team that he's Rymir's father. No court has ever ordered him to take a DNA test, and no verified DNA results have ever been made public. That right there is the central issue that's been hanging over this whole situation for a decade. The family dynamics here are complicated. Rymir grew up with this claim as part of his identity. Meanwhile, Jay-Z built a family with Beyonce, one of the most famous families in entertainment. The contrast between those two realities is stark. The legal battle officially kicked off in June 2010 when Wanda filed her first paternity claim in New Jersey. She asked for 2 men to take paternity tests, Robert Graves and Jay-Z. Graves agreed and took the test, which proved he wasn't the father. Jay-Z reportedly refused to take a test entirely. The case got dismissed in August 2012 because the court said it was filed in the wrong state and they didn't have jurisdiction over Jay-Z. But that wasn't the end. That was just the beginning of what would become a decade-long fight through multiple court systems. In late 2014, Lillie Coley refiled the lawsuit, this time with her name on it, because Wanda had gotten too sick to keep fighting. Coley hand-wrote the lawsuit. Picture that for a second. A paralegal handwriting a lawsuit against one of the most powerful people in entertainment. The court filings became public knowledge in February 2015, which is when this whole situation really started making headlines in hip-hop media. Outlets like Complex, Hot New Hip Hop, and Vibe vibe all picked up the story. Social media went crazy with people debating whether the claims were real or just another person trying to come up off a celebrity. The case bounced around New Jersey courts for years. Judges kept ruling they didn't have the authority to force Jay-Z to participate in paternity testing. According to reports, Coley and Rymir accused state officials of protecting a high-profile figure. They felt like the system was working against them because of who they were going up against. In February 2023, Rymir filed a motion with the New Jersey Supreme Court trying to unseal documents related to the case. He argued the sealed records were preventing him from getting justice. The motion got denied because of jurisdictional limitations. He appealed to the appellate division in May 2023, but that also got rejected. Door after door kept closing in his face. But that's not even the craziest part. Then, in December 2023, Rymir filed another suit alleging that between 2012 and 2023, Jay-Z systematically violated the legal rights of him, his mother, and his godmother through fraudulent court actions. These allegedly included sealed records, wrongful sanctions, and obstruction of appeals. He was basically saying the whole legal system was rigged against him. On May 3, 2025, Rymir filed a new federal lawsuit in California against Jay-Z. This time, he wasn't asking for child support. He was requesting damages for emotional distress, reputational harm, loss of financial support, plus reasonable legal expenses and costs. The lawsuit claimed that what began in the mid-1990s as Jay-Z's music career took off quickly evolved into an effort to bury a personal truth. That lawsuit painted a picture of someone who felt like they'd been erased from someone's history. Imagine thinking you know who your father is and spending years trying to prove it while that person denies you exist. Whether the claims are true or not, that's the psychological space Rymir was living in. Jay-Z's legal team came back hard. On June 16, 2025, his attorneys filed documents calling the whole thing fabricated. According to court documents obtained by E! News, they wrote that the fabricated allegations and claims had been addressed and rejected in multiple other courts. They called it just the latest in what they described as decades-long harassment. The legal team said Rymir's continued harassment of Jay-Z and disregard of court orders had already resulted in a contempt order. They weren't just defending Jay, they were going on offense, calling Rymir's actions harassment and pointing to a contempt order against him. Jay-Z's lawyers told the Daily Mail in May 2023 that the allegations had been previously reviewed thoroughly by the courts and had been refuted. They were sure that would be the outcome of whatever filing Satterthwaite was considering. Basically, they were saying they'd won before and they'd win again. The confidence in their statements was clear. Now this is when things really popped off. On July 18, 2025, Rymir withdrew his federal lawsuit. The notice to drop the case was filed in California on a Friday. Social media went crazy with people posting documents showing the withdrawal. People started speculating. Did he get a settlement? Did he give up? What happened? 3 days later, on July 21st, Rymir posted that video on Instagram explaining himself. He said he did withdraw his case, but it was for a reason. He made it clear it wasn't because he was stopping. He said there was a lot going on behind closed doors that people didn't know about. He confirmed he had not gotten any DNA test, had not gotten a settlement, and that it was not over. He told people he was playing chess, not checkers, and he hadn't stopped his fight. That video caught everyone off guard. People expected either silence or an admission of defeat. Instead, Rymir came out swinging, saying this was strategic. But what was the strategy? That's what nobody could figure out. The hip-hop community was divided. Some thought he was just trying to save face after losing. Others believed there really was something going on behind the scenes. Rymir also told The Sun in an interview around that time that Jay was supposed to be a positive role model for the community and that he should tell the truth and take responsibility. He said he could take a no. He could take being embarrassed because he'd been through a lot. What he couldn't take was Jay not saying anything. He said it wasn't fair and he was coming to the courts for the truth. That statement hit different. He wasn't asking for money. He was asking for acknowledgement, for someone to say yes or no, not just hide behind lawyers and jurisdiction arguments. The emotional weight of that plea resonated with a lot of people, even those who doubted his claims. While Rymir withdrew his case, that wasn't the end of the legal drama. Remember, Lillie Coley had her own separate lawsuit going. In May 2025, she had filed a federal suit in California, accusing Jay-Z of intentionally inflicting emotional distress and committing fraud after the original lawsuits got dismissed. She claimed Jay-Z suppressed evidence, sealed records, and negligently concealed material facts. On November 4, 2025, Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett of the Central District of California Court made a major ruling. The judge dismissed Coley's lawsuit with prejudice. That's crucial because with prejudice means she can never refile the same claims again in federal court. The court order obtained by E! News said the court had read and considered the motion and concluded it was suitable for decision without oral argument. This meant that after all the back-and-forth motions that happened in September 2025, Judge Garnett sided with the 99 problems wrapper. The ruling was final. No more refiling. No more DNA test demands in federal court. The door was shut completely, and unlike other dismissals that left wiggle room, this one slammed shut with finality. With both cases now dismissed, Jay-Z had the option to go after attorney fees. Courts can order the losing party to pay legal costs, and after a decade of this, Jay's legal bills had to be massive. We're talking hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions in legal fees. High-powered attorneys don't come cheap, and this case went through multiple states over 10 years. The judge set a deadline for Jay-Z to request sanctions or reimburse legal expenses. Here's where most people thought Jay would finish them off financially. Make an example out of them. Show what happens when you come at a billionaire with what his team called baseless claims. But here's what caught everyone off guard. Jay chose not to seek legal fees from Satterthwaite. According to an exclusive all-hip-hop report from grouchy Greg Watkins published recently, Jay let the deadline pass without filing anything. By skipping out on this deadline, the judge announced the court closed the case with no further action in sight. This was verified by court records showing Jay-Z formally closed out the decade-long legal saga by choosing not to pursue attorney fees, even after securing a complete victory in Los Angeles federal court. The filing deadline came and went. No motion, no request for fees, just silence from Jay's legal team. Why would he do that? We'll get into that in a minute, but that decision raised more questions than it answered. The hip-hop community had mixed reactions. Some fans celebrated Jay-Z's legal victory on social media. They saw it as him finally shutting down false claims and protecting his family. Others questioned why a DNA test was never done if he had nothing to hide. They felt like an innocent person would just take the test and clear their name once and for all. The debate got heated on X and Instagram. The case became a trending topic briefly on X, with people debating celebrity privacy rights. Should celebrities have to respond to every paternity claim, or does refusing a DNA test make you look guilty? The answer probably depends on which side of the story you believe. Outlets like Rolling Out, Page 6, Hot New Hip Hop, Complex, and Vibe all covered the dismissal. The story made waves across hip-hop media for days. But here's what most people missed about this whole situation. There's a business and power angle that doesn't get talked about enough. Jay-Z is worth over $1 billion. He's got Roc Nation, deals with the NFL, major sports partnerships. He's not just a rapper anymore. He's a business empire. Any paternity case hanging over his head is more than just personal drama. It's a potential liability that could affect business deals, endorsements, and his public image as a family man married to Beyoncé. Think about the NFL deal, the champagne brand, all the corporate partnerships. These companies want clean, scandal-free partners. A paternity case, especially one with the details this one has, is exactly the kind of thing that makes corporate partners nervous. The fact that Wanda claimed she was 16 when this allegedly happened adds another layer. If true, that would have been illegal and could have opened Jay up to way more than just paying child support. That detail, which Rymir's team brought up repeatedly, might explain why Jay's lawyers fought so hard on jurisdictional grounds rather than just taking a DNA test to clear everything up. There's also the sealed records issue. Rymir and Coley repeatedly claimed that Jay-Z used his legal muscle to get records sealed and courts to rule in his favor based on technicalities. They accused him of manipulating the system because of his wealth and celebrity status. Whether that's true or just frustration from losing multiple cases is hard to say without seeing those sealed documents. But perception matters, and the optics of sealed records don't look great. Word is that Rymir even claimed there was a violent threat against him. According to Hot New Hip Hop's coverage, Rymir alleged his car was hit 6 times in what he interpreted as an attempt to silence him. That allegation appeared in his lawsuit, but never got proven publicly. That claim alone shows how deep the paranoia and fear got on Rymir's side. The timing of Rymir dropping his case in July raised eyebrows. He said there was stuff going on behind closed doors. Some people speculated there might have been settlement talks happening privately, even though Rymir denied getting a settlement. Why else would you withdraw a case you've been fighting for your entire adult life unless something changed behind the scenes? Others thought maybe his legal team realized they had no path forward after all the jurisdictional losses. After 10 years of dismissals, maybe they finally accepted that no court was going to force Jay-Z to take a DNA test. The legal system had spoken multiple times, and it always said the same thing. We don't have jurisdiction. Case dismissed. It's worth noting that throughout all this, Rymir has been trying to build his own rap career. On his Instagram account, he posts clips of himself performing. He's been vocal about respecting Jay-Z for everything he's done in hip-hop. He's maintained this was never about money or fame. just about wanting to know the truth about his identity. The Nicki Minaj angle also played into this. When Nicki was going at Jay-Z and Roc Nation on social media in recent months over her issues with them, she started bringing up Rymir's case as a way to taunt Hav. That brought renewed attention to the whole situation and probably contributed to Jay's legal team moving more aggressively to get everything dismissed. When other celebrities start weaponizing your legal issues in their own feuds, that's when things become more urgent to resolve. The question everyone's asking is why Jay chose not to pursue legal fees. Some think it's an act of mercy. After winning completely, crushing them with hundreds of thousands in legal bills would have been unnecessarily cruel. It would have made him look like a bully going after a 30-year-old and his godmother who were already down. Others think it's smart PR. Ending it quietly without the headlines of Jay-Z bankrupting someone claiming to be his son is better for his image. The optics of destroying someone financially who claims to be your child, even if the courts say they're wrong, just looks bad. There's also a third theory. Maybe there was some kind of quiet understanding reached. Not a settlement, because Rymir said there wasn't one, but maybe an agreement that if Rymir and Coley dropped everything and stopped filing new cases, Jay wouldn't pursue fees. Pure speculation, but it would explain why the ending felt so anticlimactic after such an intense 10-year battle. As of today, both federal cases are completely closed. Judge Cheryl Peace Garnett's November 4th ruling dismissed Lillie Coley's case with prejudice. Rymir's case that he withdrew in July is also done. The window for Jay-Z to seek attorney fees has expired after he chose not to pursue them. On paper, this legal saga is over, but Lillie Coley isn't done yet. According to recent reports from Hot New Hip Hop, she's filed claims in New Jersey federal court arguing that sanctions against her over these dismissals are unjust. Her argument is that New Jersey courts didn't have jurisdiction to rule on these matters in the first place, so the California case shouldn't have been able to rely on those rulings. Whether these new filings will go anywhere is questionable. She's already had multiple cases dismissed across 2 states over 10 years, and Judge Garnett's with prejudice ruling is about as final as it gets for federal court. But Coley seems determined to keep fighting through any legal avenue she can find. Rymir posted on Instagram in late July saying his fight wasn't over. He told his followers he might take this to the grave with him, that if it takes another 10 years or another 50 years, he'd keep going. He said he wasn't trying to make anyone seem like a bad person, but everyone could say he fought this until the end. That's the mindset he's in. This isn't about winning in court anymore. It's become his life's mission. Jay-Z hasn't publicly commented on any of this. He's been focused on his business interests and family life. He was recently spotted at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup and continues to be active in his partnership ventures. With Beyoncé, he attended the Grammys in February 2025 and the Mufasa premiere in December 2024 with their daughter, Blue Ivy. Life goes on for him like this case never happened. His legal team's position remains unchanged. The allegations are baseless, fabricated, and have been rejected by multiple courts. To them, this is a closed chapter finally put to rest after 10 years. The hip-hop community remains divided. Some see Jay-Z as someone who rightfully protected himself through the legal system. Others see him as someone using wealth and power to avoid accountability. So that's where we're at with this whole situation. A 10-year legal battle that started with a mother trying to prove paternity and ended with federal court shutting the door on any future claims. Jay-Z came out on top legally, winning every major ruling and getting the case dismissed with prejudice. But the questions haven't gone away for everyone. The bigger picture here is how this shows the way celebrity legal battles work. Jay-Z fought this thing on jurisdictional grounds for a decade rather than just taking a DNA test. His lawyers knew that as long as they could keep getting cases dismissed on technicalities, they'd never have to deal with the actual paternity question. It's a legitimate legal strategy, and it worked perfectly. But it leaves people wondering. For Rymir, he spent his whole adult life and part of his childhood dealing with this. Whether his claims are true or not, that's had to take a real toll. He lost his mother during this fight. She passed away in 2019 without ever getting the answer she was looking for. He's been called a liar and a harasser by legal teams representing one of hip-hop's most powerful figures, and he still doesn't have the answer he says he's been looking for. The fact that Jay chose not to go after legal fees might be the most human part of this entire story. He could have bankrupted Rymir and Coley with a massive legal bill. Some people see it as an act of mercy. Others think it's just smart PR to not look like he's financially destroying someone claiming to be his son. Either way, it's the end of this particular chapter. The federal courts have spoken with finality. Keep your eyes on whether Lillie Coley's New Jersey filings go anywhere, and whether Rymir finds any other legal avenue to pursue this. Based on the with prejudice ruling, though, it's hard to see how they move forward. This whole situation shows how the intersection of celebrity, wealth, and the legal system works. When you're Jay-Z level, you've got the resources to fight cases for a decade on procedural grounds. You can hire teams of expensive lawyers who know exactly which motions to file. When you're Rymir Satterthwaite, you're trying to get courts to listen with handwritten lawsuits and going up against teams of lawyers. Whether the truth ever comes out, we may never know. Jay-Z's never taking that DNA test unless a court forces him to, and no court has been willing to do that over 10 years. Rymir says he'll fight until he's not here anymore, and Lillie Coley is still filing motions trying to find a way back into court. What we know for sure is this: Rymir Satterthwaite grew up believing Jay-Z was his father. His mother believed it until the day she died. They spent 10 years trying to prove it through the courts, and the courts said no, over and over until they finally said no with prejudice. Jay-Z never publicly addressed it, never took a DNA test, and won every legal battle by arguing the courts didn't have the right to make him take one. His lawyers called it harassment. Rymir calls it a search for truth. And now, as of November 2025, the federal court system says the case is closed. So, what do you think about all this? Do you think Jay should have just taken the test to clear it up once and for all? A simple DNA test could have ended this 10 years ago. Or do you think it's smart to never give in to what his lawyers call harassment? Is this a story about a powerful person using the legal system to avoid accountability? Or is it about someone rightfully protecting themselves and their family? The answer probably depends on which side of the story you believe. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Are you Team Jay-Z or Team Rymir? Do you think the legal system worked correctly here? And what do you make of Jay's decision not to pursue legal fees after winning? If you found this breakdown valuable and want to stay updated on hip-hop's biggest stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're covering all the major developments in the culture, from legal battles to business moves. More updates coming as this develops, because knowing this saga, there's probably another filing coming somewhere down the line. Lillie Coley's still fighting in New Jersey, and Rymir said he'd take this to the grave. So while the federal courts might be done, the story itself might not be over. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.